Hi guys, how are you? It's been a long time. Good to be back after so long. As you, some of you may know that I've started making my short films. I've always wanted to be a filmmaker since childhood. Finally, I'm getting the opportunity to follow my dreams. So this project of mine is kind of like a way for me to practice my video editing skills, and so that's why I want to make more and more videos on audio so that I can get to learn DaVinci Resolve for my video editing. Anyway, so today I wanted to talk about my favorite channel strip, which I am crazy about these days, and just this thing's blown my mind. I am not much of a channel strip person. I'm not someone who would want to load 64 tracks of SSL on every SSL channel strip on every channel. It just doesn't that hasn't worked for me. It makes my computer very CPU heavy, and I have had the opportunity to work on some SSL boards, and kind of don't think that plugins do justice. However, some plugin manufacturers like Plugin Alliance, they go very close to it, and they kind of recreate how sound behaves in that. And some of their channels, like they understand the fact that on an analog console, each channel sounds a little different from another. So anyway, today I'm going to talk about a plugin by again Lindell Audio and Plugin Alliance. This is called the Lindell Channel X. Now, this is right now my favorite channel strip. It has three modules. One is a preamp, the other is a compressor, and finally there's a full text style EQ. Now the preamp has obviously a gain knob and an output knob, which is linked together. So if you drive the gain up too high, it kind of maintains unity by rolling off the output automatically. Then you have three frequency bands to select from for the highs and three for the lows. So if you want to boost them, and then super handy the high pass and the low pass filter. I kind of like having a low pass high pass filter so handy, because there's another company called Wave Arts where they had something like this on their track plug channel strip, and I think it's super handy if you are an electronic music producer, if you just want the high from your snare, or maybe just the low end of something, and yeah, and for sound designing it is really helpful. And these days, you just don't want your mix to get cluttered too much. Just maybe just maybe you have three kick drums and you want just the beater, maybe the kick in from one channel is your kick in, other channel is your kick out, and you just want the attack of your kick in. So it just kind of helps you to filter out the frequencies that you wouldn't want. So that's really nice. And then it goes to an 1176 style compressor. Now, if I'm not using a clean compressor like FabFilter Pro, or maybe an unfiltered audio zip, and these are really nice compressors, clean. You can add character to them, no doubt. But I mean, if I would want a little bit of hardware kind of vibe from a compressor, I generally most of the times reach out for an 1176 emulation. And funny thing is that a lot of different companies make an 1176 plugin. It's I mean, I'm not very sure whether it recreates the original one, but all of them have their own mojo, and it's just I mean, I love that compressor. Some of them are a little bright sounding, some sound a little dark. I mean, it's just it is a good compressor. So most of the times I end up reaching out for an 1176. I do have a few other favorite compressors which I'm going to talk about in a later episode. So from here, it goes on to a Pultec style EQ. Now I have never used a Pultec EQ, like had never had the opportunity to, but I've used a clone a few times, and they even the clone sounds amazing. And so now the thing is that what these people have done is they have made a mid-side processing available for this Pultec style EQ, which can make your sound massive massive, you know. So let's just here's how it sounds rather than me talking about this anymore. Let's just dive in, you know. So here what I'm doing here is like I have two contact libraries loaded. One is a Spitfire Audio Saucony coded, and the other is a Spitfire Audio chamber strings. Now both of them have been recorded in different venues. So obviously, like if you know string libraries, that a library is you know as much the sound of the venue as much as it is the players, their style of playing. You know, the venue matters a lot. So, but I use these two different libraries together. One is tight, another one is very roomy and airy. I use them together because I like the articulation to of the quartet to stick out a bit. It, you know, accentuates the playing, and then the chamber string kind of rounds it off and adds a little bit of a blanket around the thing, not on top of it. Okay, so I mean blanket wouldn't be the right word. So makes it sound big, you know. So anyway, so now what happens is just that again, like since they are recorded in two different venues, you need something to stitch them up together. Now I usually send them onto an FX track and into a reverb, my TC Electronic DVR 250, and right before the reverb is where I add my Lindell audio channel strip. So let's hear it without it, the Lindell engaged. Now with it. Uh, rolled out, bit. It just sounds massive. Okay, so now if in what I've done in the EQ section is in my mids I've boosted a little bit of the lows, and my sides I've just you know boosted some of the high frequencies, and I have somewhat of a faster tag. I would definitely recommend this plugin. You should download the trial and use it and see if you like it. I am madly in love with it. So again, I'm just gonna quickly play without. I would say that uh, sounds really good, and if they had to make changes in the in the future, if they had to add, not make changes, is a perfect plugin. I would probably want them to add a resonance knob in here. Um, uh, instead of a polarity flip, maybe a phase position dial, and maybe, just maybe, some people could benefit from this EQ section being able to be switched to an API style graphic EQ, you know. So maybe either you have this or you have a API style graphic EQ. You know, that would help a lot of people. I am very happy with this though. So, three cheers to Lindell and Plugin Alliance for making the, in my opinion, the most awesome channel strip plugin ever. It's just so sick. I love it. Thank you for watching.